We've been told having children is hard. It will sanctify you and make you more like Christ. And we knew that conceptually and found out very quickly experientially.
We kind of don't remember the first 6 months of our twins' lives because of sleep deprivation and, babies.
That's right.
But after those 6 months were done, it has been just such a joy, and we absolutely love it.
So we got pregnant with our third child, the twins, and then one more.
Pretty soon after finding out we were pregnant, in our doctor's visits, we realized that the baby was not growing like she should have been. And so we saw a high-risk doctor and monitored her growth very closely. And everything seemed to be going well with every other aspect of her. Her brain looked good, her heart looked good, all the major concerns were not there, but she was growing very slowly. And so it wasn't until February that we said, okay, well, we'll go ahead and do some additional testing. And our doctor didn't think something was wrong, we didn't think something was wrong, so it was kind of just, oh sure, we'll just do that just to be careful or just to be sure.
Emily calls me at work and I could immediately tell something was wrong. It looked bad. And there was a couple of different options that it could have been, and they needed to do some more testing. And my dad's a doctor, or we just actually added him to the phone call and just asked him, how bad is this, Dad? And he was loving enough to tell us straight that it doesn't look good. I got home from work and we got on our knees together before the Lord and immediately just started crying out to him. Got the testing back and it was actually worse than they first thought. And as we asked more questions, I got more details about what her death would look like and just all of the hard details. There were moments when it was almost unbearable.
The facts of statistically, your baby will die. There is no chance that she will live. And the doctor told that to us. And wrestling with the truth of, okay, God can do a miracle. He can give her life. We had sweet family and friends around us who had faith when I felt like I could not. Especially my dad. He was the one who said, but she could live. In my mind, sometimes I would say, yeah, Dad, I know you think that, but it really, come on, we need to be realistic here.
We get to the day that she was scheduled to be induced. So we anticipated all day the birth of this little baby, not knowing if she'd be born alive. And
obviously, the Lord had other plans.
When Sage was born, she immediately threw up her arms, and it was like
she just let loose this loud, healthy cry. And I mean, everyone in the room at this point is just bawling because we didn't know how she was going to come out of the womb, and to hear just this sweet sound of life was something that we will never forget, and I don't think anyone in our family will forget.
Really, the last year and a half has been an adventure of learning the miracle that God has worked.
On a medical standpoint, she has some hearing loss and she has some eyesight issues, and most recently she's had surgery on her skull, and she's gone through those beautifully. I don't even view them as complications because there's life and we can deal with life.
The Lord works miracles, and we've seen that. We have a living miracle in our home, but He doesn't promise the miracle. We still have to keep in mind that what the Lord has promised is His presence in the middle of trial. Whether the trial ends in a miracle, like we have with our little girl, or in tragedy, the Lord walks through it with you. And that has to be enough, because tomorrow is not promised for Sage. Tomorrow's not promised for our boys, Hollis and Oliver. Tomorrow's not promised for us. But the Lord's presence is. So you cling to that promise and you pray for the miracle. But if it doesn't happen, or if it does, He's got to be enough.